The question quickly becomes, do you save this 2007 Land Rover Range Rover L322, or do we send it off to the scrapyard for folks to pick and pull pieces they need off of it? Follow along. I'm going to show you what this needs, and we're going to decide, do we add this to our car collection, or do we send it on its way? Let's go. So I acquired this L322, believe it or not, I hate to admit this, about 2 years ago. And I've alluded to it in many videos about how this is the next project. And I've spent literally all of 2025 researching issues to prepare how I might begin to fix it, and frankly, if I do. Now, the good news is, mechanically, it seems okay. I have no leaks, it cools. The brakes need to all be replaced just from sitting, frankly, but it drives halfway decent. The issues I have with it are the fiber optic cable and a closed loop connection, which basically has rendered the infotainment completely useless. It cannot be used. It just is stuck on the Land Rover logo. Now, I'm told that could just be a faulty Bluetooth module. But there's other issues with this L322 as well. So let's go ahead and walk around it, and I'll show you what needs to be done. And I value your input. Let me know what you think and if this is something I should collect, or I should say repair. Okay, let's give this a good look on the outside here. The guy I bought this from actually bought it not that long ago, and he took a loan out on it when he bought it, and then he had it paid off, and shortly after he paid it off, he started having these issues. One of the issues I'm very familiar with. One of the issues worries me. But I do think there's a place for this in the car collection. The paint's in really good shape. I cleaned it yesterday. I did a quick detail, so I wanted to see how bad the paint was, and it's actually about as in good of shape as my other 07 L322. Maybe even better. I don't see any of that clear coat coming off. You can see there's still some algae and whatnot that needs to be cleaned. I also don't see any rust spots on it. My L322 has a rust spot developing here, which can be a big pain. This seems pretty clean. The tires are obviously cooked. That has to be replaced, all four. A few little blemishes here and there, but no major discoloration or heat marks or anything on the hood. Looks like they hit something here, but overall pretty minor. These all need to be cleaned because that won't pass a Maryland state inspection. But overall, not too bad on the outside. You can just see, little marks, it looks like. And I know that he commuted and parked on the street a lot, he told me, and you can see a few little things I can buff out there. But what do you think of the outside? I love the color of this. My other 07 L322 is stowaway gray. My 03 is black. And this one is a Buckingham blue. So that would give me a black, a stowaway gray, and a Buckingham blue. But it's such a dark blue, it almost looks black. I removed some of the debris that was inside here. You can see this. It looks like some type of animal dropping there. So when these things sit, animals love to take it in here. But the brake fluid level is perfect. Coolant is just below the fill line, but you can see the compartment area is pretty clean. I put a brand new battery in it. I've been using these AAA batteries because they give you a 3-year warranty, and they come out and replace the battery if it goes bad. So Maryland changed the law where it has to be 1999 and older or for historic plates, so I need to get this to pass a safety inspection. Headlights, I got to do the removing the haze on them, which there's some pretty easy fixes to do that, at least temporary. Under the engine, I've seen no issues other than the AC has a leak. It has no coolant. Refrigerant. So I'm going to charge that up next summer and just see the extent of the leak. It might just be low, frankly. The heat works fine. The oil levels are okay. The brake fluid is okay. The window reservoir works. No issues with the intake system. No error codes. None of that's happening. It sounds good. The coolant level is sitting a little bit below, so I got to figure out. I have not seen any leaks. But obviously, I got to address that and make sure there's not a bigger issue. Battery compartment is clean. Everything is exactly where I would want it to be as far as I can tell. And when I hook my digital reader to it, I have absolutely no engine codes, no warnings, nothing. Let's go ahead and start it up and see what it sounds like. Okay, let's go ahead and start this thing up. That's one of the issues. The door won't unlatch from the outside. So I got to go ahead and open it up from the passenger side, but I do have the replacement cable. The previous owner had that, but never used it. Okay, so let's start this bad boy up. You can see those no check engine lights or anything like that, and on my scanner it all comes back nice and clean. But it sounds good, it runs good, it idles good. No issues from that standpoint. This has 166,000 miles on it. That's an important fact. 166,000 miles. But the 07 to 08s, they don't typically have those timing chain issues. You can hear a little squeaky pulley somewhere, but other than that, and that goes away once it warms up a bit. Other than that, you know, there's no weirdness with noises. The underside's really nice too. It's not too rusty for being a car up here in Maryland. So mid-Atlantic, but plenty of snow and plenty of salt. But that, my friend, is a problem. And what I mean is, it is stuck on the Land Rover logo. So I'm told, and this is what I want some feedback on, that could be a Bluetooth module. That the fiber optic basically is a piece of fiber that runs through the car in a closed loop. And the fiber is broken at specific modules. So the fiber goes in, you know, from here, presumably, to the back, into a bunch of the devices in the back, including a Bluetooth module. And that Bluetooth module inputs it and then continues it away. But if the module breaks, it breaks the loop of the fiber optic. And everybody I've talked to online have said, Jason, this is probably the Bluetooth module. The other little things, like aesthetically, this panel is all cracked right here. So, you know, that's kind of janky. You have some of the typical tan coming off. And you have the leather seat here needs to be resolved. I can have a shop do that if I choose to, but you know, that's the inside, with the major issue being the screen. No audio, no television on the back headrest, no 4x4 info, but the 4x4 works just fine. The air suspension is perfect. There's no leaks. I can go in off-road mode and I can use the buttons and it would do exactly what you would expect it to do from a special feature standpoint with sand, ruts, or mud, and going into off-road mode. All of the seats work. you know. I'm not sure if that one does. I haven't tested it, but you know, they all do their thing. So inside, if that can be addressed, great. But at least I still have control of lowering it, raising it, and going into the various modes that you want to do in your Land Rover, Range Rover. However, the car is on right now, everything's working. I'll cut the key, remove the key, go ahead and just open the door briefly. If I was to come back out to the vehicle and put the key in, the key's not turning, the steering wheel is doing its thing. That is the issue I've had on my 07 as well. I'm going to attempt to lubricate this again. I'm going to show you in a video. But for now, what I've done is I've installed that bypass where I can actually kill the fuse. So I'm going to cut that. We're going to wait just a few seconds. I've cut it back on. I'm going to put my key in. And you can see that I can now turn the key again. So that's my temporary bypass until I actually get this resolved. And it's going to be the exact same issue here. I'll pull the key, yank this out. It's not going to let me turn it again. So we have the radio not working, which I think might be a Bluetooth module. We have the steering column where when you take the key out, you can't start it again unless you pull the negative or reset that fuse 17. I'm going to attempt to address that, I believe. Those are the major issues, I would say, inside the vehicle. Outside of, like, you know, some of the cosmetics, I can clean all of this. I can't really do much here, but I can clean some of these stains off. I can address some of that. So overall, I know I can work with the steering column issue. I'm not completely convinced I can fix the screen. Hopefully it's a Bluetooth module. But if I keep this vehicle with no radio, no screen, it still functions. So it's not the end. It's just not ideal. But overall, it's in great shape. I mean, like most of these SUVs, the backs are always fantastic because not as many people traveled with kids. So they didn't have many people sitting back here. I love this. This is why I want that screen to work. I really, really, really want the TV to work. All kinds of good inputs there. Leather is perfect here in the back. We got the saggy roof liner though. So going to the back, as I alluded to, we have the nastiness of the saggy roof liner, and I fixed this honestly by using a spray adhesive, and then I use tacks to hold it in until this adhesive holds it, just because the cost to redo the whole headliner is kind of pricey in the grand scheme of things. This is where the Bluetooth module is. It's this guy right here. So I need to do some investigative work in here, but so the tailgate, it unlatches on that side. It's not unlatching on this side. So I've got to figure out how to get my tailgate to unlatch. I'm told there's like a manual release buttons in here that you can push down. However, I have been unsuccessful in doing that, so I need to investigate that a little bit farther. So as far as the back goes, not a whole lot to worry about other than figuring out this tailgate, which I've just added a ton of WD-40 to it, and it's still not unlatching, and I'm told there's some manual level in there, so I need to figure that out. Let's take a look at the the passenger side back. All nice condition, nothing too out of place. I can get that spray adhesive in there and pin that up. What do you think? So what do you think? As I've walked around this with you, I've gotten a little more positive on it. I think I can do a Bluetooth bypass and give that a go. I'm gonna try to fix the steering column issue. And everything else, it's just mechanical. The door, it's probably the cable, and the back is probably the latch or something just sticking. And who knows, maybe I'll have a really good L322 that I can cruise around with in conjunction with my stowaway gray. I can have a Buckingham blue. So this is Jason with jamzDOTnet, Cars, DIY, and Adventures. If you like DIY, Land Rovers, cars, and fun adventures, give me a subscribe on YouTube. This is gonna be a multi-part series because I think I wanna tinker with it a little bit more. So stay tuned for future videos and give me your expertise, please. I need it. Thank you. Have a great day.